Через 100 метров поверните направо на Interstate 10.
Okay, so here lately there's been a good bit of talk about the dollar collapsing and should we be worried about it, and how to prepare for a collapse of the United States dollar. Is it possible? Yes, it is absolutely possible. Some would even say probable. If you look around if you look around the world on what's going on with, current events, and the new forming of the BRICS alliance, or whatever you want to call it, the Brazil, Russia, China, South Africa, it's a whole monetary system, and
Поверните направо.
if you're concerned about,
Прямо 290 километров.
if you're concerned about, your wealth in the form of U.S. currency, then yeah, the collapse of the United States dollar is absolutely something to be worried about, because it is possible, and again, some would say it's even probable. Here's my whole take on would the U.S. dollar collapse. Well, if you look at what we're doing, printing endless dollars left and right, printing more money means inflation, printing a lot of money. And then, let's say, these BRICS countries just give us back our dollars. You're just going to have a massive influx of currency coming back to the United States, which would most likely trigger hyperinflation. So my whole take on with the US dollar collapse, I'd say it's probable. Maybe not, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but I would definitely say that the United States dollar is on its way out right now at this very moment. It's on the decline. It's only getting worse. You can only see it getting worse. I don't see it getting any better. What can you do to protect yourself against the collapse of the United States dollar? Well, if you look at the BRICS countries right now, they're kind of protecting themselves against the collapse of the U.S. dollar. They're making their own monetary system, should I say. They're leaving the U.S. dollar behind. So I'm not suggesting you to invest in other currencies. You could definitely, by any means, invest into other currencies. I'm not going to tell you which currencies to invest in. I'm not a financial advisor. Me personally, I wouldn't invest in any currency, not even the U.S. dollar. What I would personally invest in would be gold and silver, maybe platinum, and potentially some copper. I don't know. There's a whole deal on copper. It's not exactly it's not exactly all that valuable, even though it does hold some value. It would be more like trading pennies, rather than silver would be trading like dollars worth, and then gold would be your high value items, maybe firearms, and things like that. But you might be able to trade silver for like food and stuff, and I don't know exactly what you would trade copper for. But yeah, stocking up on precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, things like that, be a good bet, be a good hedge against inflation. It'd be a good fallback currency, because every prepper channel out there is going to tell you to invest in gold and silver, because gold and silver has always held value since the beginning of mankind. And that's accurate. Keeping gold and silver would ensure your wealth, even in times of desperation or depression or collapse of a monetary system. Gold and silver will still keep their value. It'll still always hold value. So that is a great way to combat the fears of the collapse of the dollar. Yeah, if you just want to get prepared for the collapse of the dollar, if you think that the dollar is on its way out permanently, I would say if you don't have gold and silver, go get some gold and silver. Obviously don't blow your bank account on gold and silver, because that would be stupid and reckless. Your US dollars still hold value, theoretically. I mean, for the most part, they're numbers on a screen or worthless piece of paper. But what you can do right now is what we've been doing: stocking up on food and water, stocking up on ammunition, medical supplies. Those medical supplies, guys, are very important. It's a big one that a lot of people don't really stock up on. And I have a feeling it's one of those things where a lot of people don't really understand how to use it. Oh, Jesus Christ, there goes my phone. But guys, medical supplies are going to be very, very important, especially if the dollar collapses, because, collapsing US dollar, that's not the, monetary value isn't the only thing that you're going to lose with that. You're going to have other outcomes with the collapse of a dollar. You're going to have people rioting. You're going to have people looting. You're going to have people shooting each other. You're going to have people getting hurt. And that's where the stocking up on medical supplies comes into hand. Because you're likely going to need those medical supplies if the dollar collapses. In the United States, we don't have free health care. If you go to a hospital, the dollar collapses. Do you think they're just going to work for free, especially at the beginning? No, I don't think so. Now, you go into a hospital and you pay with gold and silver, I think they'll take it. If the collapse does happen. Other than that, I don't think they're going to do anything for free. So it's best to have your own equipment. Stock up on medical supplies and learn how to use it. Again, stock up on food, long-term food, beans, rice, things of that sort. Mylar bags, store them with oxygen absorbers. Get plenty of it. Pounds upon pounds of this stuff, guys. Make sure it's stored properly, away from sunlight, away from humidity, away from any kind of moisture, not in a hot, not in a cold place. You're gonna want the longest shelf life, because the collapse of a dollar, guys, we don't know exactly how long it would last for. We don't know how long it would be until we have a new system in place. We don't know what kind of system that would be. God help us if it's CBDC. Now, I don't know what y'all's opinion on CBDC is. I think I have a good idea. It's probably similar to mine, and that is, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't need anybody knowing what I'm buying, where I'm buying, how much I'm buying of. I don't need anyone to know that information, and y'all don't need to know that either. There's just no reason. So, I don't want anything to do with CBDC. But that might be an outcome of the collapse of the US dollar. Might be CBDC. That'll be a scary situation if that's the case. Guys, whatever the outcome is, if it does happen, if it doesn't happen, again, we're preppers. It's always best to be prepared for the worst in case it does happen. Now you have auto insurance. Well, kind of required, but you know, you have it in case you get into an accident. Then you have it. You know, you have it and hope you never need it. It's kind of like having a gun. You know, you have it, hope you never need it, but if you need it, you're glad you've got it. Again, guys, I don't know if the dollar will collapse. It's looking like it's going there. Like I said, again, I'm not a financial advisor, but gold and silver, precious metals, ammunition, food, water, medical. And y'all might want to brush up on some bushcrafting skills, because if the dollar collapses, guys, the mortgage guys are still going to want their money. Apartments, landlords still going to want their money. They're going to want something. Brush up on the bushcrafting skills. Wouldn't hurt.